hot in the UK at the moment, and I do not like the heat. I just do not get on with it. I prefer snowboarding and skiing. Bring me snow anytime. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick shout out because next week is the final deadline for the submissions for Dreamforce if you want to do a talk at Dreamforce. Now, when I started going to Dreamforce about 6-7 years ago, the very first one I went to, I actually paid for my Dreamforce ticket. And it was about $1,000 or so. And then I quickly cottoned on that if you submitted a talk to Dreamforce and got it accepted, Salesforce will give you a free ticket to Dreamforce, which is kind of cool. Now there's different talks that you can kind of submit for. So there's usually like the admin. So if you're an admin and you work within Salesforce and you want to kind of tell people about how you use Salesforce, maybe the different features and functionality within it, then you could submit a talk around that. Or there's the developer talks. So if you're interested in coding on the platform and you want to show people how to do different things or some interesting stuff like that, then you can submit on the developer track. Now they both have a submission deadline for the 30th of June, so next week. So get cracking. But my top tips for submitting is basically it all comes down to the title and the abstract of your talk when you submit it to Salesforce. Now, a lot of people think, oh, all the MVPs or all the people they know are going to get the talk, but actually it's a blind submission, so they can't even see who that has submitted the talks to them. And so all they're going on is the title and the abstract of the talk. Now, every year since the first year I paid for my ticket, I've been able to do a talk at Dreamforce and therefore had my ticket paid for me, which has been absolutely brilliant. But it all comes down to this title and the abstract. So my top tips for you is if you're trying to pick a title, especially a title, then take a look at the Dreamforce YouTube channel and have a look of all the different titles of talks that have happened over the years, so you can see which ones have had the most views on the YouTube videos, because that's a good indication based on the title of the talks which ones have been viewed the most and maybe have the best grabbing title. But take into consideration that obviously the older videos are going to have more views than the most recent ones, but it's a really good way of kind of picking a title for your talk, or at least a kind of style of those titles, because when Salesforce reviews your title and your abstracts, then they're not going to know who it's from. It's completely blind, and that's all they're going on. Also, when you're doing your abstract, when we do London's Calling in London, so this big community Salesforce event that we do, it was really interesting when we got all these submissions, because the abstracts can be kind of a bit all over the place, and the talk might be really awesome, but the abstracts have been written in a bit of a haphazard way. And what I really love is when we got those kind of abstracts that basically showed, what is the problem that they're talking about? What is the solution that they're trying to answer as part of that problem? And then, what are we going to be able to see in that presentation? So are we going to be seeing demos? And then at the end of the day, what is the key takeaway from the audience members? And also, how am I going to present it? Is it going to be a live demo? Is it going to be slideshow? How does it make it interesting to the viewers? And actually, my theme last year was vegetables. I know, very bizarre, but all my talks had some relevance to vegetables in them. So for my security talk, I talked about an onion and about the different layers of an onion and how security kind of models that. Then for my developer talk, I talked about external objects and how you can use them. And I was connecting to a resource to allow you to see recipe data and be able to pick based on different vegetables for my evening meal. So there's, I kind of have a theme through it as well. But the key is the abstract, because this is what Salesforce is going to review. If it's not great, then it's not going to get picked. You're not going to get your free ticket to Dreamforce. Now, there are kind of two main types of talks. There's the theatre talks and the breakout talks. Now, theatre talks are about 20 minutes long, but they're great at kind of really kind of punchy, getting your message across and getting key takeaways that the audience can kind of take with them away and kind of go, yeah, I want to learn more about this. I want to research more into this subject. Now, the breakout sessions are a bit longer. They usually kind of tend to be 40 minutes, maybe an hour, and they really kind of go more into the detail of a subject. Now, most of the talks, the majority of the talks like last year, were recorded and put online. So if anybody kind of misses it, then they can always watch it online, which is another great thing for you, because your talks are going to get published essentially onto the Salesforce YouTube channels or their website video site or whatever like that. So it's a really good kudos for you as well as a free ticket to Dreamforce, which can't be bad too. So just remember, problem, solution, what are they going to see in their talk, and then the key takeaway. If that is all in your abstract, then it's going to be a killer abstract. And then make sure your title, you've researched your title, so it's kind of headline grabbing, but it's not too crazy. And finally, what I'd usually do is take a look to see what Salesforce is most interested in the morning at the moment, and seeing if you can kind of twist your talk to make it more relevant to that. So for example, AI is hot at the moment, and lightning, but do research what's gone previously to really kind of make those submissions really awesome. Now, I haven't submitted any of my talks yet. I think I might have to go and do it. I've only got a week to think. What should I talk about? I don't know. So that's my top tips for submitting a talk to Dreamforce. Good luck, hope you get it, and if you do get it submitted, let me know so I can come along and see you at Dreamforce, because I will hopefully be there as well. So see you there. It's 32 degrees outside, it is boiling, it's hotter than Florida. I'm not working. I am just sitting here in front of the AC unit, and that's it. That's all I am doing for the rest of the day.